Deion Sanders has a prediction for his son, Shedeur Sanders, and he thinks he's going to start at some point this season. He joined the New Heights podcast to talk about that. I'm going to react here on 4 Verts. I've got a challenge for all of you. The most subscribers we've gotten on a video this month is 35. Those are rookie numbers. We can top that. If you love the NFL, if you love college football, if you're a diehard football fan, give us a shot and subscribe. And how about this? Set an alarm for your phone 15 minutes from now. If you don't enjoy this video, unsubscribe. If you do, keep us subscribed and give us a chance. I'm Harrison Graham. Deion Sanders, the head coach at Colorado, and of course the father of Shedeur Sanders, hopped on with Jason and Travis Kelce and had a pretty, firm proclamation that his son Shedeur Sanders is going to be playing at some point this season. Here's what he had to say, quote, "You got to be ready when it's time, but when it is time, you're going to know. And it's coming up. I got a prediction. I ain't telling nobody. I got a feeling when it's going to go down. But it's going to go down this year. He's going to get a shot." I'm conflicted about Deion saying this regardless of when it is, but especially 3 weeks into a season, and especially after the Browns just won a game. Like, if I'm the Browns management, I don't love that my third-string quarterback, super famous father, is going out publicly and being like, yeah, Shedeur's going to start at some point this year. Just wait for it. I'm a little conflicted. Now, just speaking broadly, if someone else said this, I do kind of understand it, right? Because on one hand, Joe Flacco is clearly not going to start all year. He's a dinosaur. They brought him back after pulling him off the couch a couple of years ago to at least be a stopgap guy, and he's just not even really a good stopgap quarterback anymore. He can't move. He's not as accurate as he once was. He's 40 years old. Like, it is what it is, right? Like, the magic of 2023 when they got him off the couch once Deshaun Watson got hurt and went to the playoffs, like, that's gone. He went to the Colts last year, was bad. They brought him back this year, he's bad. So on one hand, I'm like, okay, well, yeah, clearly Flacco's not going to start all year. But on the other hand, it's like, should Deion be stoking these flames? It's like, first of all, Shedeur Sanders isn't even next in line. That's Dillon Gabriel. Now, whether or not he's better or worse than Dillon Gabriel, time will tell, but Dillon Gabriel's the backup. He got all the backup reps in OTAs. He got all the backup reps in fall camp. He's listed as the backup on the depth chart. On game days, he's the number 2. Shedeur's the inactive number 3. So even once they pivot off Flacco, which I do think they will, it's not like Shedeur's next in line. Like, Dillon Gabriel would get the next opportunity to play, which, again, we could debate whether or not that should be the case, but that is the scenario. That's how the Browns have it set up. Now, in terms of when a change could come at quarterback for the Browns, I don't think you would do it in the next 2 weeks. You just won a game. You're not going to change quarterbacks this week at Detroit. You're not going to do that. I also don't think it's a great idea to turn to a rookie in his first start when you're flying across the pond to London to play Brian Flores' defense. Like, that seems like a bad idea. So the earliest you would probably do it is week 6 at Pittsburgh. Week 7 and 8 against Miami and New England. Those could be opportunities as well. Certainly the week 9 bye week. I think at minimum, though, Flacco is starting through London. I think he's at least getting the next 2 starts because I just think it's too chaotic of a situation to throw Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur. It would be Gabriel. But regardless, a rookie into the starting lineup in that circumstance. Like, Jackson Dart is starting this week, but it's just a normal game on the schedule. It's not, flying across the pond doing something crazy. So, I think Flacco's at least getting the next 2 weeks. Now, who do you guys think is the better quarterback? I like Shedeur more as a prospect coming out. I thought he was like a day 2 type of player. Dillon Gabriel, to me, I thought was a late day 3 guy. Would I bet on either of these guys becoming good starters? No. I like Shedeur's talent a little more. Don't think he has that big of an arm, but at least he's not 5'10" like Dillon Gabriel. So DG for Dillon Gabriel, SS for Shedeur Sanders. Now, coming up next, I will kind of explore what a path would look like for Deion to be right, for Shedeur to start at some point this year. I think there's really just 2 scenarios where that ends up playing out as we are already 3 weeks into the season. Today's show is brought to you by PrizePicks, daily fantasy made easy at PrizePicks.com/CLNS. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. Football is back. It's better than ever, and your boy made a lot of money this past week, and I hit on 2 PrizePicks lineups, made a few $100. And that's the way it works. You set lineups of 2 to 6 players, pick more or less on the stat projections, and certain lineups you can win up to 2,000 times your money. PrizePicks also invented the flex play, which means you can cash out still if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Got a 3-player lineup this week. The max discount, Jalen Hurts, which you can use in up to 1 lineup per week. So choose wisely. More than half a passing yard. I like Ashton Genty to find the end zone. That's a goblin pick, which lowers the payout a little bit as it's easier to hit. And I've got Rome Odunze more than 61.5 receiving yards. He's been very good so far this year. That's an example of a lineup. That's what I've got so far this week. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use our code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. What's the path for Shedeur Sanders to start a game, at least one, or games this year? Well, number one, I think Joe Flacco would have to be benched in a relatively near timeline. Like if he's last to Thanksgiving, Shedeur's probably not starting a game. Why? Because we'll get to him in a minute, but Dillon Gabriel would get at least multiple starts in that scenario, and by then the season's basically over. So I think Flacco would have to be benched by the bye week. So that's week 9. So coming out of the bye, week 10, he's benched because, again, Dillon Gabriel is the next man up. So that's why I think Flacco would have to be benched relatively early in the season because if you're Kevin Stefanski, if you're Andrew Berry, you drafted Dillon Gabriel in the 3rd round, you're going to give him multiple starts if you turn to him in that scenario. Now, number 2 is part of this path is what if Dillon Gabriel just fumbles the opportunity? Now, again, I don't think he could have the worst debut ever. He would get at least a second start. So, again, that's why Flacco's got to be benched relatively early. But, sure, if, let's say, Dillon Gabriel starts week 10, gets a month, right? 4 starts, 0-4, plays really poorly, then, yeah, Shedeur Sanders could get that next opportunity. But we have to remember, they drafted Dillon Gabriel in the 3rd round. This was a guy they liked. They ended up taking Shedeur in the 5th. All kinds of theories out there. Was it owner-driven? Did they just think the value was too good to be true at that point? Who knows? Who knows if we'll ever get the full story? Deion did say that they did not want to go to Philly or Baltimore, who apparently also got drew interest in him in the 5th round because they have long-term starters. That's certainly an interesting angle. But regardless, they took Gabriel first. And if Shedeur went in the 3rd round, no one would have thought that was a crazy pick. So the fact that they took Gabriel 2 rounds ahead of him, regardless of why they ended up taking Shedeur, they like him more, and they've proved that with their actions. He is the backup. So you have to remember that once Flacco goes down, Gabriel would at least get some level of a leash. Now, a month is a leash, right? You get 4 starts. If you're just terrible, then sure, you would try Shedeur Sanders as well because you'd like to see if he could be the answer because if not, you're probably drafting a quarterback next year. And let's remember, these coaches, these front office execs, GMs, they hate admitting when they're wrong. They hate it. They absolutely hate it. So they're not going to pull the plug on Dillon Gabriel after a game or 2. They might after 4, but if they bench Joe Flacco, Dillon Gabriel is going to get a decent leash and an opportunity to prove he can be the guy. And then number 3, this is kind of a divergent path. Obviously, if injuries pop up, that could give Shedeur an opportunity. Now, Deion's clearly not insinuating that. He's not saying, I think it's coming soon. I can predict the future. Joe Flacco's going to get hurt, and so is Dillon Gabriel. But, if Flacco were to get hurt, or by the time they go to Gabriel, if he were to get hurt, then obviously Shedeur would get an opportunity. We know injuries create opportunity, and you look at a guy like Brock Purdy, right? The only reason he ever got a chance, really, was because Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance first, and then Jimmy Garoppolo got injured, and then Purdy got a shot and ran with it. So I think the point Deion is making, this is where I agree, you got to stay ready if you're Shedeur, because when that opportunity comes, you may only get one shot at it. You may only get a small window to prove that you're the guy, especially as a third-string quarterback. So it'll be interesting to see if it happens this year. If the Browns, kind of keep battling and kind of sneakily win some games, they're probably not going to be in a rush to change things up. So the next few weeks will probably dictate a lot. Will Shedeur start a game this year? Type Y for yes, or you can type in for no. Give me your thoughts on this one down in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Trying to set a record for the month of September, and new subscribers need 36 or more of you guys. That would be awesome. I would greatly appreciate it. Football content on the reg. We'll see you guys soon.